Arsenal fan watching the game, Man United should be excited about their season. They are playing some great football. How did you see United's performance tonight, KJ?
No, there was some good pieces of football that we played. We've seen a lot better than we saw than last season. I think the system as a whole is getting better. Yes, there were some counterattacks that we faced, but we actually had more men back to help defend them than normally. Normally, it'd be like a 5v2 or 4v1, and it's just like, how on earth do the opposition not score? But this time we had a 3v3 in one of the counterattacks or 3v2. So we're getting the system slowly getting better. There were slight tweaks from the Betis game, like the two centre midfielders, that they weren't close to the centre back because there was only one centre midfielder and an inverted fullback, and I don't think it worked as well. But overall, we were making some good chances. Our players can't find the back of the net as per usual. Hopefully that changes within the season, but there were parts of that game I was very happy with, and I was like, I could see where we're trying to go, and I'm like, yeah, like let's get more of that in the season. Hopefully, with better players coming in, we can improve on that and start seeing some real good games from us. But then, as the match goes on, we have obviously where we are at really and truly is that we can't sustain that for more than 25 minutes. And the quality drop from our first team or first team players to our squad players and some of our academy players is huge. It's very, very big. Like Casemiro was dreadful today. Toby Collier, he's had a good preseason, but he was awful today, causing that second goal needlessly. And it's just one of those ones where we really got to see where we're at. And as a Man United fan, I'm not angry. I'm not sitting here saying that the season's over, we're not gonna do anything. But at the same time, I look at it, I'm like, you know what? We actually need to be grateful for a fifth place finish this year. You know what I mean? If we get fifth, I think it's a good year. If we get Europa League, hopefully, I think that's what we should be aiming for. We've had a decent year. Like we are in a start of something that we have not been through since Fergie came here, which is rebuilding, which is starting over again, which is bringing in new people to help with the process. And it's going to take time. We can't get rid of all of the players or the deadwood in one summer. We can't buy all the players that we want to improve us in one summer. It's impossible. So we've got things to build on. Yes, there's some things to be happy with, but we've got to remember, at the end of the day, we're not there, man. We're not there. Liverpool are better than us quality-wise and technically-wise. Arsenal are better than us. Man City are better than us. And then you've got people in and around us like Villa, West Ham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Spurs. We don't know where we'll end up around them when it comes up to compete against them. So, decent game. Unfortunate about the scoreline. We should have scored some more goals. We need more quality in that midfield. We need more cover in that center in the defense. And then hopefully we could have a fifth place finish, maybe push for top 4 maybe next season.
There was a comment that came through that made me laugh, and it says, "Nah, man, said fifth is a good year. The state of this club."
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly it. We are in a state, an absolute state, as a football club, and it's going to take time to fix this. And this is the irony, Adam. And I hope you're well, Adam, and I hope you're doing well. I don't think we're talking about coming fifth every year is a great thing. And do you know what's happened? I think, and Arsenal fans listening, please let me finish my sentence before you get cognitive dissonance. Wenger and being happy with finishing in the top 4 race, I think is almost, and the banter and the ridicule that Arsenal and Wenger got for winning the top 4 trophy, I think it's created a level of delusion within the footballing world. Year 1 in a genuine rebuild where we're being gutted and we're starting again, finishing 5th or finishing 4th, not being in a title race, but improving the football, hopefully winning a domestic trophy is fine. It's only if you start settling for that every year, no matter what you spend and no matter what you do, and if the club doesn't try to improve on that, you're accepting of it, that's where it becomes a problem. From where we have been, we've got to start growing. Now, of course, idealistically, Adam, would I love 4 more signings now? We get De Ligt, we get Mazwari, we get Ugarte, we get Zubimendi. Rashford next year scores the most amount of goals he's ever scored. Højlund scores 30 goals. Bruno scores an assist, 50 goals like he did a few years ago. We barely leak goals. We click. The football's amazing. We win the league. Oh, mate, I'd love that. I'd love to sit here and go, do you know what, guys? I was wrong. We improved within a year. How goddamn amazing was that? The problem is I don't believe that is realistic. Now, I hope it happens. But what I hope happens shouldn't dictate my opinion around what I think will happen and what I would be accepting of year one within a new club rebuild. So I do think there's a fundamental difference here. This idea that because you're happy with the first year's results, that I'll give you an example. There are people like, for me, yeah, I don't have as many subscribers as KSI, but that doesn't mean I can't be happy with my growth and progression as a YouTuber over the course of a year. Because that probably means that most people in this chat could never be happy with their lives if we applied that logic consistently. Because none of you watching are probably in the top 50% of the most successful human beings on planet Earth. Therefore, you can't ever be happy with your life, can you? Because you don't have that level of success. It's about building up, and it's about understanding your situation. It's about understanding where you are as a person and setting realistic expectations year one. And yeah, this idea that Man United fans have no standards because of what KJ just said, Adam, I appreciate your opinion, but I do think you're wrong. Sorry, Maradon here says, where are your goals coming from for United, Terry? And don't say Højlund or Xerxes. So we can't mention our strikers, but where are they? Where's the goals coming from?
Well, you clearly saw Rashford's threatening today. You clearly saw Ahmad has had a good preseason. There's two sources of goals there. We had Garnacho to come back, got Bruno to come back. You know, you can goals out of them. If for some reason that McTominay stays, there's another person for goals. And Jadon Sancho, I believe, has been decent this preseason. And if he stays, we know he's a player capable of scoring goals and getting assists. So, listen, Man United, we've struggled for goals for the last couple of years. But it wasn't too long ago, 3 years ago under Ollie, or 4 years ago under Ollie, where we scored, over 100 goals in all competitions. We had a strike force that had plus 15 goals each. So let's not do this, man.
And I think as well, if Maradon, you've obviously, look, you're a Liverpool fan, I believe. You know, you've stayed up tonight and watched their game. You watched the game the other night at 3, 4. You know, you're staying up till 3 or 4 in the morning to watch Man United games. So I do respect you as a Liverpool fan doing that. Tonight, I get we played you, but you watch the other matches. You know as well as I do that if the chances that were created in those games fell to the Rasmuses, the Xerxes, the Rashfords, the Brunos, we'd have probably scored an extra 4 or 5 goals in this preseason tour in America. So do I think we're going to be the highest goal scoring team in the league? No. Do I think we can score 15 to 20 more goals collectively compared to what we did last year? I think so. This here says a genuine rebuild. What is that? So it's only a rebuild if you get everything you need. No, that's because a genuine rebuild can still foul. What a genuine rebuild is. Some clubs fans like to pretend they're in a rebuild. So, for instance, some Liverpool fans I say, "Oh, we're in a rebuild now because Klopp's gone." No, you're not. You know, you've got your new stadium, you've got brilliant training facilities. The people running your club have been there before. The squad isn't going to have this huge, massive overhaul. In fact, it isn't even in need of a huge, massive overhaul. Your title contending worthy. You need new blood, like every squad does, almost every single year. It's why Pep and Fergie, the greatest 2 managers ever in the Premier League, consistently buy players every year. But that isn't a rebuild. What Man United are going through is new board, new key football decision makers, new scouts, new medical team, new training facilities, new stadium, and the squad being overhauled, a new style of play, and the work being delegated out in a different way. Nearly every single facet of the football club is being ripped apart and rebuilt. That's what I call a genuine rebuild. Now, a genuine rebuild can fail still because it doesn't mean you get it right. That's why, my friend, in life, you evaluate a plan versus execution versus the fruits of that labor, the yield. But we do need, and we are starting a genuine, some of it's literally happening as well with the stadium, a genuine rebuild of the football club is happening.
It's funny when people hear rebuild, it's like, oh, how long does it take to finish? And then that means you've won the league after your rebuild because rebuilds no, like people keep mentioning, oh, but what about Jose's rebuild or Van Gaal's rebuild or Ollie's rebuild? Yes, We tried to rebuild with them, and it failed because we had the wrong people in charge. We sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, people that, like, you know, you can build a building multiple times until you get it right, you know? Like, there's nothing that says, you've made your house now, can't improve it again.
Yeah, no,
Can't change it at all. Like, that's it.
It's crazy. It's genuinely crazy. And I understand there's I think there's multiple facets to this. So I think you, first of all, what you have is you just saying you're in the rebuild, so you have an excuse not to win. No, that's not in any capacity. That is a weak straw man argument. Because in 3, 4, 5 years, I'm not going to be sitting here going, we're in year 1 of the rebuild. I'm going to be saying, what the fuck have we done? We're 3, 4, 5 years into it. Where's the improvement? If we're failing, that is, of course. So it's not about an excuse or a comfort blanket. It's the reality of the situation. Also, when I say genuine rebuild, I am being very specific to Man United because the club has spoke of rebuilds in the past, but it hasn't been until after the fact that we've learned that nothing really changed. It was a Fugazi rebuild, you know, almost like you've seen those memes of a guy that's sitting on his roof pretending to be working. He's just banging a bit of wood and drinking beer and listening to a game. That's almost what our rebuilds were. The club are making a lot of noise, but in reality, we didn't change anything. But you know what we'll do? We'll stop this accountant doing the transfer negotiations, and we'll put this accountant in to do it instead. Yeah, we did see some change with Myrtle and co, especially around the youth side of things. But generally, we haven't been through it. We haven't had since Fergie and his team. We haven't had genuine football decision makers at our club in 11 years. So yeah, it is a genuine rebuild, and it's going to take time to fix 11 years of malpractice. By the way, the same people that will say, look at the state of your football club, equally when we say it's going to take a long time to fix that state, go, no, you should want to fix it straight away. So it's either a really bad mess or it's not. Which is it?
We've got a comment here that says, terrible analogy, it's not economically viable to tear down a house 6 times. But, mate, we have built the house poorly and it's unlivable. So what else are you supposed to do?
the thing is, it's the most accurate analogy. I'll tell you as to why. Because Man United's economical situation has been damaged because we have consistently failed to rebuild the team, the club, the squad. We're hemorrhaging money. We're in massive debt because of how poor our club has been run. So if I've got £500,000 to build a house and I keep employing builders who do bad jobs, I don't oversee it properly, and the building inspectors come along and it doesn't get signed off, it's going to keep costing me money. Eventually, it's going to have to be ripped down again. It'll be condemned by health and safety, condemned by the local authority, and it would have to be knocked down and rebuilt again. So when you say terrible analogy, no, it isn't. It's literally the most accurate analogy you can give about.
You know what, Terry? I've got a simple analogy for him, just for you to help you, because I know you guys. Some of you, especially you, my friend, are very simple, and you need some things done simply for you. It's the story of the 3 little pigs. We are the pigs who built the house out of straw and out of sticks. And when the big bad wolf came coming down, with blowing on the house, it kept blowing it down because it was built poorly. The big bad wolf are the teams in the Premier League. It's the trying to win the Champions League. Those are the tests that we went through. Would fail. Now we're trying to be the pig with the brick house. That's what we're doing, my friend. So we're trying to be the smart piggy.
Yeah, it's genuinely crazy. There's a comment that I read a second ago that said 10 years of rebuilding. Exactly.
Yes.
That's and failing. It's what I find interesting about the Man United situation is in one breath people say, look how terrible you are, your squad isn't good enough, it's going to take years to fix. When you as fans, and by the way, me and you have been in this reality for a long time, say, look, I'm happy with the start, but it's going to take years to fix. What do you mean it's going to take years to fix? Why aren't you demanding that it's fixed today? Well, because I'm not a fucking idiot. But a minute ago, the same person said it's going to take years to fix. When we say it's going to take years to fix, they don't suit the narrative.
They say our club is awful. We're sitting here saying, yeah, you're right, our club is bad, so we need to fix it. And they're like, oh, how dare you say that?
It's weird. But it's like the reverse of, and I'm not saying it's all Liverpool fans, by the way. A few people said it's not all of us, and I know it isn't most of you. But it's like the same Liverpool fans that if I said I don't think you could challenge for the league, you hate us. I really think you could challenge for the league. You're trying to set us up for failure. It's almost like whatever you say, if we turned around and said, I think we're going to challenge for the league, those same people would say, delusional, you're nowhere near good enough. It's just you are listening to respond and you're not listening to understand. You're looking for the banter. You're looking to try and disagree with us. But in reality, you know that we're absolutely
right. Copium would be saying, so right, guys, there's actually nothing wrong with Man United. Like, it's just the manager. We just replace the manager and we'll be all good and we'll be challenging the league for next season. That is what copium is. Not actually, if you look at all the list of things that's wrong with this club, it's actually going to take like 5 years to fix and potentially win a Premier League. That's not copium. That is the reality of the matter. And guess what? It's taken longer than we thought. When, as Man United fans, we thought we'd be back by like 2 years after Fergie. We're not here, and it's 11. So we are here sitting humbly saying, we've got work to do. We're going to keep working and try and get better. And apparently we can't do that. So it's just one of those ones where you want us to be flipping Usain Bolt with
people do that on match reactions throughout the season. Arsenal will lose and it'll be a gal, what went wrong today? Saliba had a bad game, and I really thought that Declan Rice was weak in 2 or 3 tackles, and Saka missed so many good chances today. He was really poor. Excuses. That's not an excuse. That's just giving the reasons why you thought you look. Excuses would be it's raining.
It's raining. Or sometimes it's the ref was so biased when he wasn't.
The floodlights were so bright, the players couldn't see correctly. It's so strange because people just want to hear that the bog standard. My club's just rubbish. This year.